next time? Up and away! Paimon's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list? Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. We can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon.
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a while.
Huh. So you two are still hanging out together.
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard, not that our friendship was over. We're still the best of friends. The Holmayanis also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous, so me and the other mercs never...
I told Dehya to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dehya wasn't around.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But
you can stay for as many days as you want, Dehya. Father hasn't...
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
What? She said they'll treat you to the best dishes! Paimon can't believe you can still refuse that!
But wait. Didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just... There are so many places I still haven't visited yet.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like... I feel like something is off about you lately. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, have you been delaying our trip because you've run...
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Would you swear on that? French? But if something really is...
Oh, looks like Junior's up.
You're too perceptive, my lady. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy... Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though.
My lady... You're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? All right, I'll share what I know. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but however, not all Eremite brigades are like mine.
Deshret's relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Aina.
Oh, you mean the group that tried...
Deshret's relics is composed of many smaller... On any other day, I would...
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is led by...
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now.
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violence.
100?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinaries...
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's relic sees it. All I do, if I don't do something about them, I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How can your father...
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then he was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Of course, the other brigade members were just like him.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother. It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But the problem was that he had terrible taste. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the...
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. It was only much later when I realized.
What an interesting guy.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish. That until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in
I think I can understand your feelings.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father. I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings. Yeah. I told the boys to gather as...
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to work.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do?
Huh? But there's no...
Well, she's super tough, so if she...
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more... I'll wait for news from you in the city until then.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady. All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we can catch up a bit with my fellow mercs.
I'm super awesome.
Hey, Dehya, you're back. Are these two friends of yours? Likewise. Anyway, since they've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, they even attack other relics brigades.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other, a portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for...
That's terrible!
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so desperate for Mora. A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as... Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be more accurate to say that they're experienced...
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their if their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. Unfortunately, we weren't... Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the
It sounds mighty strange to me, too. Gotta say, though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole undercover mission.
Nah, it was nothing. We're...
What he said. Besides, Yeah. And while they went to talk with Dakan al-Akmar, I took a look at the last camp they attacked. Any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left in the camp.
Ah, Hisham and Khalaf. You're here too.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Rebot. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you.
Hey! special?
Oh,
Of course! Paimon is the traveler's most important guide!
oh. In that case, then you better take care of her too.
Don't underestimate Paimon!
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, even if she had only survived.
Oh, one other thing, Dehya. We held another recruitment event The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was...
Sorry to hear that.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more smoking hot members into our ranks.
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
Huh? Wait, are you serious?
I don't think you were...
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like...
All right. We can tell you about it later.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell...
Are they...
More or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back. But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all out of... That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm... Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
Yeah, you hear her, Holloff? Told you we gotta focus on... All you gotta do is wait and ambush them in the evening.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my...
Will do. You...
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time. It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another, so...
No need to worry.
I'm not worried about that. Here they come. You ready? Let's not give them a chance to react and end this quickly.
Let's
get it on!
I'll be back. You won this one.
Huh? You're... the flick...
Good. That saves me an introduction.
You know the code of being a mercenary, just...
That might have worked on an amateur. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have... You've got 5 seconds. You might want to...
Whoa!
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy way. 2 seconds!
I'll save you the...
Huh? Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid. I definitely didn't expect him to go that far.
But why would he be so...
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by threatening them. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but...
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after that. There are lots of goods around here. Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find something. I'm really sorry. Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and all familiar names. Dakana Lakmar, this caravan is just one link in their logistics. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
No value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora. But perhaps. But they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the... Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazamon Homayani?
Homayani? You mean Dunyarzad's family?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Just what the heck is going on here? I'm sorry, you're right. But what this piece of paper confirms is that the
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark?
That's a possibility. But if that was the case, they could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Reap. Yeah, funding.
But why would...
I've been to their estate many times. The only potentially... But that's still just a speculation. You're probably right.
But what should we do now?
If you ask me, I'm not worried. Let's go find my lady. If we're lucky, we...
Dehya.
I've considered that. She showed genuine... That's not how...
You're right. Paimon wants...
Yeah. We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I...
Actually,
I see.
Something like...
You all look a little... Why don't you discuss it with me?
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much...
So something is wrong. On any other day, Paimon would have already waved... So tell...
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're...
The Master. Okay. I understand. My father...
Yeah, it makes... I've never doubted the Master's integrity. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you, in the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run... However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the core of
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguard. Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen. He offered me a pile of Mora, so...
Well, but that didn't really answer my question.
Maybe the core of 30 just didn't... I think I get what you're saying.
Precisely. If my father had always been in contact...
You mean the goal all along was to get Dehya to be your body?
No, that's too much of a stretch.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that you're...
So, the Master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
Sorry we put all this on you so sudden.
It's okay, Paimon. Regardless of his reasons, if my...
But is that really the right thing to do? My father has committed many atrocities, and does... However, the Homayani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further...
Dehya...
It's all right, Dehya. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed...
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because...
Hey! It's still too early to give up hope!
Thank you, everyone. In which case, my late...
Sure thing. I also hope he'll...
Usual place?
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two.
Yes, but we may skip all the...
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your...
So, that's what you found?
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like...
Well, it's what I do know, though.
Wait, me?
Yes, I understand perfectly, but knowledge always... Your father, Kusela. Of course, you have the right to... The facts of this matter may... If you must proceed.
His heartfelt efforts... I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow. I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support. I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I came here today to...
Our family once needed to take a trip. They had superior numbers. Those Eremites were Kusela's men told me that Kusela was grinning and walked...
Really?
He said that he had no particular reason. We started talking about our children and to repay his kindness.
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
I'm not too sure myself. He then suddenly asked me if juniors at the time, but he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, I was completely lost at first, until he recommended...
So he was the one who recommended Dehya to you.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud. He was already beyond redemption, but if Dehya could stay in my house and keep working...
And that's why you offered her such...
Yes, but not just because of that. And that's also why I tried to persuade... Kusela saved my daughter and me all those years ago and...
He was always like that.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dehya's fees. I refused. Eventually, I just accepted them as a... The letter contained a request to help him by...
Wait! Isn't that around the time that Dakan...
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, But by then, he was no longer receptive. That thought occurred to me as well. After some deliberation, I decided to send him some... I am aware that even such a reduced jet... In the end, it probably was the wrong...
If you can, please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then...
Oh no, Dehya...
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions. Another way? But I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between... I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his brigade with some goods, I try... However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dakan al-Akhmar's merchant caravan. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone.
Understood. Thank you, sir.
I'll stay and be with my father here. My father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I feel like our only course of action is to...
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistakes.
What?
I know what you've been up to.
Shh! Keep your voice down. Come with me. We should take... This place should do. Alright, back to my question.
Don't worry about that for now.
Wait, there's no need to jump the gun.
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I waited in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dakan al-Akmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operation. If you provide some help for us, then we might...
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first?
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is...
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise they're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the... Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you.
Sure. And then you can
Hey, come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't...
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're...
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city. Seems like we're in luck. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves. I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Dehya, why are you here?
Look alive!
Hey.
You ain't messing around! Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
Clouds high, the birds call, into the wind.
Let's get it on!
Our bond is strong.
She's so strong.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding him anymore. Did you understand a single word I just said? Or do...
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down. He died.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop.
When did he die? What?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Akmar and went to the Deshret.
So is that when you guys...
We would prefer to call it taking revenge.
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable...
Those were a part of it. Regardless of whether it be their deepest sin, that's precisely it. But you, Dehya, you were never asked to provide a record.
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person.
Ever since you were born. Not only that, but in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and...
We all knew he was doing that for you.
And that's why he became a shell of...
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense.
Because you were too young when you left home after that.
So even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty... I suggested that he hand the role of leadership. His words made no sense to me. But that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and...
Everyone gained their freedom that night. But how could we leave with a clear conscience?
The boss can't have just died for...
From that point on, the big fire that Boss... Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through... There were people from headquarters who changed their names, but we won't let any of them escape our...
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. All we can do is exchange our... We forged Boss's handwriting and sent... We were also able to attract many mercenaries. Deshret's relics have become...
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. Boss always loved his old-fashioned heroes. We used to always laugh at him for it. As for me, I never considered myself a hero, but maybe those hero stories he liked forced. Maybe we were all just... I'm sorry, Dehya.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dehya?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some all I know is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed. Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't...
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.